I'm Kevin Inoue. I'm an assistant professor in theater and dance. I teach acting, movement, and stage combat. So one of the skill sets that I brought to this position was doing stage combat and stunt work. I'm a certified teacher with the Society of American Fight Directors. So that means what we do is fight choreography and instruction for anytime there's something in a play or a movie where there is conflict or injury. It might just be pratfalls, somebody falling down. I've worked in a couple of productions of Rumors, and there's people tripping over phone cords and dropping stuff. It can also include, Romeo and Juliet sword fights. It can include modern stuff. So the class that I'm going to be doing for J-term, this coming J-term, this is our first time doing it there. We normally only offer it every other year, and we ran into a bit of a problem this last fall where it filled up. And we had some people who needed it to graduate with transfers, and so they're needing to finish it. And I felt bad that there weren't a lot of people who got to take it just for the fun of it, because they wanted to. And to me, this is one of our more just gratuitous fun classes that we get to do. It's a class that's designed primarily for people who want to be performers, whether it's acting, doing fight scenes for Renaissance festivals or in movies or in plays. But we also get people who just like playing with swords, frankly, and there's nothing wrong with that. So what we do, the Intro to Stage Combat class is designed to do a couple of things. It gives sort of a foundational level of technique in both unarmed and rapier and dagger, which is Elizabethan era, like Shakespeare sword fights, basically. So you have the long, narrow sword and an offhand dagger that gets added to that. So we'll learn the basic techniques of how to fall, how to punch, how to kick, how to do chokes in wrestling, how to do basic sword attacks and defenses. We'll do a little bit of scene work, but not a whole lot. Part of what the class does is it sets up for an optional advanced stage combat that we do every other year, which is for people who want to get certification through the Society of American Fight Directors. Once you have that foundation, then we do some intensive scene work, and you do performances that are adjudicated by a fight master that we bring in. And the other things that it sets up, one is we have an annual stage combat workshop in the spring. And so part of my hope in starting that, I guess we just had our second year this spring, is that as we get more and more people who are interested in this and have some experience in it, we can start doing more and more interesting things with the workshop, which is also when we bring in the adjudicators for people who want to certify. Last year we had a fight master in from San Diego and a stunt guy in from Louisiana. We did some great stuff especially for fighting on camera this last year. And then also for anybody who wants to do stuff in the plays that we do on campus, or film projects on campus for that matter. We have open auditions in the theater department, so anybody who wants to be in a show, you don't have to be a theater major to do that, or minor. It's totally open auditions. So another part of my hope is that in another couple of years, if I wanted to do Henry V or Romeo and Juliet, or some play that involved needing to do a battle scene, or having a number of people who could do fights, that we'd start to have that talent base that I could know people I could call on to say, hey, I need somebody to come in and act 5 and die 5 times for me gloriously, that I'd know who to call on for that. Or if we do a filmmaking class or a project along those lines, that if people ask me, hey, do you have anybody who could be a good person for that I start to have more people who I know what their training is and I know what they're capable of. J-term classes are something that we're trying to do to make use of that weird time that we have sort of at the tail end of our winter break. So it would be beginning in early January, and it would end a couple of days before the beginning of the semester. So it's a nice sort of intensive time when you can really just focus on one thing, get a lot of good solid work on it, and then be done. And so this counts, it can count as a part of your spring semester. You can use your financial aid money for it, but it doesn't compete with your other classes, which is nice. You'd be totally done before the semester starts.